When you need a mortgage, don't stress at all. Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning, YouTube. Today is Friday, August 21st. And Anth, our soccer fan, tells us it's the start of the Premier League today. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Wow, we are finally back. Feels like forever, but it's only been about 3 weeks.
Tom, who's going to win the 2026-2027 English Premier League? Give it to us.
You heard it here first, the Tottenham Hotspur with all of their great new signings.
Seems like a homer pick. Anth, I don't know if you heard, but the Dodgers owner can't afford all the players actually in reality. So don't be a billionaire that writes loans on your own companies and doesn't disclose it. Those loans come due, and now you're going to have to sell all your sports teams. So even billionaires have tough mornings.
They do. You can't take a loan. And I mean, hey, the famous phrase is you don't pay, you don't stay. So You got to pay those loans.
Let's quickly go around the table and think, what does everybody think the Dodgers' new name is going to be in 2028 after the strike? Can we all go around the room and just think what the Los Angeles what?
Losers.
The Surfers.
Yeah.
LA Surfers. Nice little wave in the logo.
I don't know. Losers? I don't know.
Pretty good one. I'm going to go with the Nelsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Los Angeles Nelsons.
Love that. All right. Enough with the sports talk, but we did have to talk a little Friday fun. Get everyone loose here to start out. But I'm sure everyone heard this week, kind of rattled everyone's feathers, though it's not happening tomorrow. But if you live in Allegheny County, there is a judge saying that assessment has to be done by 2032. And it's been a little while since we had a county-wide reassessment, but we got to talk what that means, Tom, because that confuses a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, that county-wide reassessment is strictly for the assessed values of the home or the market assessed value, however you want to call it. But that actually could help some people. I know I just wrote up an estimate this week where the house was actually assessed at probably about 73%. And we know that's, about 25% higher than the common level ratio. So that house is actually going to get a big W. And those people that live there, their payment's going to go down. But that's not the case for everybody. As we know, some of these city of Pittsburgh houses haven't been reassessed since about 1920.
Well, and everyone worries, and Tom just said a couple words there. He said common level ratio. We'll get to that real quick. And everyone worries that this assessment value means it's going to affect what they can sell it for, what it's actually worth. I feel like that's the biggest misconception.
No, and that's always a confusion because everybody goes on the Allegheny County website and they're like, oh, well, it's only worth this. And that's only for tax purposes only. That's not for appraised value or resale value. It's only for tax purposes. But, Tom's right. They have a full fair market value for taxes based on their own assumption of what they're going to tax it based on. And then they have the assessment value, which is based on the homestead exemption, if you apply and qualify for it, which is a discount on those taxes. So, but it definitely does not have anything to do with the market value of that property.
Yes, that's very important. And with the common level ratio, what Tom mentioned, if a home closes today, their property taxes are assessed off a percentage of what it's worth. So we assume there's going to be that same type of system with this reassessment. But if you have lived in your home for 20 years, 15 years since that last reassessment, those are the folks, Tom, I feel like that they're going to have the biggest difference in taxes here.
Yeah, and that's where you're going to see the news headlines come up. Absolute disaster. Taxes are a disaster in Allegheny County. And it's going to be those fixed income people that haven't been reassessed. And they might own a $400,000 house in one of these districts now that they're paying still, $1,500 a year in taxes or something. where their next door neighbor is paying $7,500. Those are going to be the people crying wolf. I do feel for them. There might be stuff down the road, for seniors to get a discount break. We're not here to talk about that today because they just mentioned that's not going into play. But those are the people I feel for, because the people that have been living in their house and it's paid off, that's kind of the people they're coming after on this.
And guys, just remember, you want the county to assess your house for as low as possible, because that's what your property taxes are based off of. It is not going to affect your resale. If you call one of the great realtors that we work with to sell your home, they're going to come in and give you a market value based off of what's selling. They're not going to the Allegheny County website to say, oh, the county assessed it at this, we have to sell it for this. That is not how the system works.
If it's a measuring contest, you need to be the shortest.
Yes. Tom would win in most of those. So I feel like when we went through this last one, everyone was up in arms, and you will have a chance to appeal. And this is not happening tomorrow, but we wanted to get out there and just remind everyone how the assessed value and your market value could be different. But this could also be a reason of maybe you want to sell before your taxes do go up. Get out of there so you don't even have to deal with this. If that's a scenario you're thinking about, or you have no idea what your taxes are, where they could go. Well, guess what, guys? Agents, realtors can do that information. We can give you that information. The county has great websites actually that can tell you where your taxes currently are compared to where they would go if it's assessed at a different value or you sell it at a different value. So there should not be question marks of what are my taxes going to be in Allegheny County. The math equation exists.
Yeah, we do them every day. So hit us up. We're more than happy to break that down for you and, show you where they're going. It could be up or down. Remember that. It doesn't mean everybody's taxes are going up. So just remember that.
And just on a whole, property taxes are always going to be changing. Even if you get a fixed rate mortgage, that's only fixing your principal and interest. We see insurance costs going up and we see taxes going up. So that's why we're always trying to talk about affordability and explaining to clients, here's what your payment is compared to where it can go.
Yeah, I mean, it's property taxes. I mean, what do they say? Nothing's guaranteed except for death and taxes, right? So, I mean, they're going to, reassess a home at some point. So you have to be aware of, the budget and leave a little bit of wiggle room, and that's why we harp on affordability all the time, because things do change after you buy the house. It might be 12 months, it might be 24, it might be 5 years. But you have to be prepared for those changes. Hopefully they come in lower. A lot of the people that bought during COVID that didn't appeal, like Tom said, those are going to be winners because they're probably assessed at like 80% when the common level ratio is 50.14. So they certainly should win on that. But yeah, things will change. So you have to just be prepared for it and budget for it. Don't live beyond your means.
That's absolutely said perfectly. And I do believe personally in the next 5 years, property taxes are going to be a big hot button topic in politics. There's a lot of talk in some of these states and some of these counties that why are people paying property taxes if they fully own their home and have them paid off? It could be a big determination in where folks live coming up in the future with affordability. So let's keep our eye on that because, Tom, I really do keep hearing about this more and more about why are you paying property taxes if you own your home?
Yeah, I mean, that is a hot button topic. I don't know which way I lean on it, to be honest. I could lean both ways depending who I'm talking to and the points that they're making. So I don't know if that is the right call because then you will lose a ton of revenue and tax dollars. But I'm against taxes, so ultimately I want it gone. So yeah, it's a kind of a catch-22 on that. Maybe they could get a little discount or something for having your house paid off. I don't know. Maybe there's some type of factor that they could play in and do it. But the more important reason, Pennsylvania, but wait, Allegheny County's reassessing, Ryan. So maybe next episode we could dive into why we need to reassess and why we are raising our taxes. That's going to be a great next episode.
There you go. Tom's leading it. I'm only the co-host. We'll listen to Tom next week on Tuesday about taxes. So tune in. Everyone have a great weekend. We'll see you then.
See you, boys.
Later.
Tom, Ryan, and Anthony